Okay, welcome back to another episode of Over the Shoulder. You know how this goes, guys. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Do you want to be on this side, sitting on this seat, or who would you like to see on this side of the seat? We work with a lot of people now at Mountaintop Studios, so we have a few new guests are going to be coming on. After we get done with the Honestly series, but we had to get through the Honestly series, and we had a lot of different hands in terms of talent, in terms of crew, production, post production involved in it.
Team grows.
And you can already hear his voice on the side. He needs no introduction at this point. He might as well be co-hosting the podcast with me. We got Stanley J. Williams.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. I love to see the smile, man. Got the black boy joy. Black boy joy, which I guess that's like, you were with me in the trenches, right? Honestly.
Hey.
You got the first draft, the second draft, the third draft. We literally sat together and tore that thing apart, line by line, everything like that. And I kept telling you that the main vision that I had for this specifically with your character was Black Boy Joy. So tell me a little bit about what that meant to you and how did you bring that to Marvin?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't really. The Black Boy Joy came on the back end.
Okay.
For the character, for Marvin specifically, yeah, that came on the back end. Like really just kind of digging into the character and figuring him out. That wasn't the first thing that came to mind for me. It was like, this is a very layered individual who's got a lot going on internally. So figuring that out and processing that and then interacting with the rest of the cast and crew, yeah, the Black Boy Joy came on the back end.
Okay, so what came on the front end?
Unpacking what it feels like to not trust somebody. Yeah. Like trust issues was a very big thing here, man. And that one, I'll be honest, that one hit home for me. So I was like, in my lifetime, I've had trust issues. So this one was a little personal. So yeah.
Okay. So how did you go about? Well, first and foremost, let me ask this from the acting perspective. Okay, when you read a character who has so many things that resonate, but not just like deep things that resonate, triggering things that resonate. What was it like to look at that character, feel the triggers, and then still decide to move forward with the project and trying to embody this character?
It was really raw. It was very raw because, like you said, there were triggering moments, there were very honest moments, there were very vulnerable moments, and all of those things are like, how do I become this character without losing myself to this character? And I don't know, I'll be honest with you. Don't think I've quite perfected the art of that, but it was enriching to do because it required me to be honest with myself about a lot of things. And in being honest with myself about a lot of things, it brought, I could feel the authenticity being brought to the character.
Okay, so now we finished that about 2-3 weeks ago. So have you been able to pull back? Was it like a nice healthy withdrawal from the character, or were some things like, it just kind of it stayed with you for a second or anything like that?
Well, there are things that have stayed. I think that's a part of any job. Like if you're acting, expect to become or to at least evolve from the character. But having a great community around me helps. So being able to dissect all the things that I felt throughout the process and talking to you, talking to my cousin Al, all of that, all of the people who
shout out to Al.
Shout out to Al.
The loft was Al's. We appreciate you so much, Al.
But yeah, just talking to everybody and unpacking that for myself. Because something that's I think has come about recently in regards to the acting community is that after big roles, and especially like roles that have a personal feel to them, a lot of actors have to seek out therapy afterward. Because sometimes the acting and the portrayal of the character can be so personal that it touches a part of you that you weren't ready for. So having to talk to a professional or talk to a community or talk to whoever you need to really bring yourself back from that is critical, crucial.
Very true. It's actually kind of funny. So Marvin's character in the script, he was very he had trouble communicating, very much so. And that was actually something I really took. I took it from my personal life. That was more so me. Like I always tell people, I really do really communicate through my art. Like when I write scripts, like I'm usually working through situations mentally. Like it might be, I might for this one I said I was working through some, some past friendships that failed. So that was how this one, when I did like In the Room, it was me dealing with imposter syndrome. I was doing that stuff for me. And so for this one, looking at the communication and stuff like that, a lot of Marvin's, I don't know how to communicate. Like you need to look at my art, all this kind. That was a lot of me. I know a lot of people resonate with that, but it's crazy because afterwards, I had two people because I'm a type of person like when I'm going through something, I shut down.
Same.
I shut down. Same. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like
I'm just now getting better at that.
Yeah, I'm just getting better at it, and particularly like after things are just stressful. People think, oh, it's E. He's happy go lucky, all this kind of stuff. But obviously we all feel.
You preaching to the choir, bro.
So I literally had one of my great friends. She was like, "Nah, you can't do that. That's not a healthy trait to have. Like you're recognizing that, and you need to like." You don't need to do it. She was like, if you do that to me, we gonna have a problem. And I was just like, and I saw myself like, I wasn't getting mad, but like I didn't really want to talk about it. And I'm like, oh, this is what I do. And I was like, okay, cool. So work on it. And then and this girl who I've taken on a few dates and stuff like that, like, yeah. So shit. So she
shout out to you.
Yeah. So I kind of told her this, and I kind of did it a little bit, because after honestly, it was just I think it's called I call it like the creative process when it comes to end. It's just you just get so tired. Man. My body shut down, mentally shut down.
Sleep.
I need sleep
for days.
I just need to eat snacks and just so I kind of shut down a little bit. And she was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
No,
she was like, you got to fix this, like. She was like, I get it and all this kind of stuff, but none of us are perfect, but you need to be actively working on this. And I was like, all right, cool. So, Marvin's character is really coming out of me now. So it's like, bro, I do need to be working on it.
You are, again, preaching to the choir, bro. Like, I feel the exact same way. After a very big project, I need to decompress. I need to de-stress, decompress, sleep as much as possible because I feel like you just give so much. You give so much of yourself. And I'm talking about me, you, cast, crew, everybody who was a part of the project. If you work in the artistic space, this one's for you. Mm-hmm. Take the time to really just heal afterward, man. And like sometimes we don't even know that it's that serious.
See, that's what I will all say about this is like, that's, I think, the biggest difference between the indie community versus the, I don't even know, the union community or the big budget community, because it's like, okay, if you're, an A-list actor and you go full-fledged, you dive into the character, you just got paid maybe $5-10 million for it.
Oh, you can afford it.
You can afford it, but this is the thing, you can afford to take the time off in between projects. Afterwards. So you can take those 3 months to, reset yourself.
Mm-hmm. To get therapy, to take some time off, to go on vacation.
Me and you,
we gotta go back to work Monday.
We gotta go to work. Like, my clients were like, nigga, I need my project. So it's like my week while I'm like trying to like heal, as you say, it's like I still gotta step back into this work. So it's like my healing is bombarded with the
real world, everyday life.
And so that's why I said indie filmmakers, man, built different. Built different.
All right. Pay attention.
Built different.
Pay attention.
So okay, cool. So, I sent you a script. I sent you 3 versions of it. Mm-hmm. And I want to know, what was the part, when you read it and you were like, I can't wait to do this scene. Mm-hmm. Like, what was that scene?
That scene for me is the ending. And that was the part we spent the most time working through.
Yes, we did.
Because I was just like, there is so much context here. Like between what Tamara's doing, what OJ has going on, what Tati's doing. And I am literally like, not to spoil anything, I am not moving. I'm just there. But it's so much going on around me. And I'm just like, I have to make sure that regardless of if I'm moving, that the energy, the feel of it still resonates with everybody else.
It was your eyes for me. You know what I mean? But your eyes tell the story. So I always tell people, like, especially like actors, like anytime like someone comes with an audition or they're saying that like they're like new actors, I can always tell because when you give them any type of emotion, whether it's happy, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, they always try to go big. They always go big. Anger is like, oh, I'm about to raise my voice. Sadness, oh, I'm about to curl into a ball. Like happiness, I'm about to be real touchy and all this. Like they become like this, and I'm just like, that's not how it goes. Like that's not. When you're really happy in life, it's like I always think like the perfect happiness in any movie. I always think is like Will Smith Pursuit of Happiness when he walks outside and he's just walking and he's in this crowd and you just see him, and then you just start to see the tears coming out of it. It's just small reflections and like that's happiness. You see anger, like when you see the best movie, somebody about to be angry, they don't start yelling.
It's oftentimes silent, seething,
and it builds.
Like, you took the word right out of my mouth. It just builds.
So when you get to the yell, it's like, you know, but it's like that build. It's like, but people like they jump to the yell, and I'm like, when you jump to the yell, it's really there's no level. Like you just hear it, and then like the audience had to go here with you, and when you do that, you take the audience out of their seat, and you always want to keep the audience, and you want them to build that anger with you.
I feel that.
You with the eyes, like I said, the eyes always tell people like, watch your eyes, like watch you, like if you can tell, if the story can be told through your eyes and the small things in your eyes, you're doing an amazing acting job. You know, because the eyes will control the mouth. Well, then what comes out of the mouth is like, everything else. And then the body language, everything's gonna just follow the eyes. So I just tell people focus on the eyes. You know, I should be able to. Well, because I should be able to play a film silently, and you should get the story.
There was a whole generation of films that were that way for a reason.
If I can't do that, then visually as a director, I'm not doing my job.
If I can't do that as an actor. Same.
And so like that's what it is. So the eyes. Okay, so so now I got two follow-up questions. So what was your favorite scene in the movie?
I think my favorite scene is our argument.
Which one? Oh, it's some arguing motherfucker.
I'm sorry, Tati. But the kitchen argument. The kitchen argument. Like going from the living room to the kitchen. Because we took the time to have it. Like really have at it. Like we didn't mess around. We were just like, you know what? If it's gonna be an argument, let's actually have an argument. So we picked a topic and went at it. And Tati may not be a heavyweight, but she ain't pulling no punches.
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. She Mike Tyson your ass real quick.
Pulling no punches. I was like, dang, dog.
Yeah, you see, I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay single for just a little bit longer because I don't know if I'm ready for that. That smoke was...
If you ain't ever been punched in your kidney, don't argue with her. Just don't.
And that's actually really cool because I know for that, like I could have wrote some dialogue for it, but like I typically, I do like to have moments where I know I want to improv and just do that stuff.
I think those are some of the best moments of this film, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do it with like a little bit because I mean, I feel like also it becomes like, are you truly acting? If you really got in the character, you can go.
Yeah,
you can really go. So I like to give actors that those spaces to breathe and like make this project like truly their own as well.
Add that extra layer on top of
that extra layer. So that's just like, hey, y'all got this improv. And then Like, it's actually funny because I had planned for like those improv like argument scenes to like really be like cut out in terms of like the sound, like really us not being able to hear it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I did
yeah.
some of that, but then some of them I was like, oh shit,
Nah,
this
let
is
him
good.
have it.
I was like,
Let him
this
have
is
it.
good. I'm like, just, you know, that scene was supposed to be like 1 minute long, it became like 2-3 minutes with like some of the stuff that, you know, y'all were going at it. Okay, so then the last follow-up question was like, okay, as you're watching the film, you know, at the premiere, what was the scene? Because, you know, for me, I edited the film, so I've already seen it. I already know how the colors came out. I already know all this kind of stuff. What was the scene that you were watching and you was just like,
All right. So let me lead into this. Firstly, every film we've done, I don't know if you've noticed this. Whenever we play it, I am never in the front.
no, of course not.
I always go sit in the very back of the room because I'm just like, firstly, I get nervous. I'm just like, how was my acting? How was the performance? Did I bring to the table what I was supposed to bring to the table? Going into this, I felt like I left some stuff on the table. And that was my biggest concern walking into it. But in watching the film, I was like, okay, well, no, it's coming through. And then we get to the end scene, the reveal scene where Tamara and first of all, Tamara, solid work. And to the makeup artist, my God.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, the reveal scene where I find out, you know,
Trying to too much spoiler.
Yeah, the reveal scene.
Yeah, but just keep it
Yeah. It was a genuine reaction. So that, in that moment, I was like, yeah, this is.
I tell you,
this
the
is
eyes.
serious.
The eyes, I was like, ooh.
God, because I was just like,
yeah.
Yo, I know there were no words in there, but just watch my eyes. Just watch my eyes.
You didn't need any words. That's good acting. You didn't need any words at all. It's actually you actually helped greatly with that. I don't know if you know with in terms of like the makeup. So when I was originally writing this script, like I said, it's Marvin and two friends and stuff like that, and he's going through that friendship triangle of this and that. And at first, it was like I just really wanted to make it like the relationships with the friendship, and then his relationship with Shauna, his girlfriend, and it just being that and that being kind of the story. And then you know, Halloween coming around, I was like, and I really do like horror.
A twist.
I do. Well, I really like horror. The reason I really like horror is because the psychology that you can put in behind horror. I feel like in every other genre, where there's drama, comedy, action, and stuff like that, there has to be like this, I don't want to say a level of realism, but like this, like it has to be, or like if people haven't seen it this way, we can't like dive as deep into the psychology as you can in horror. Because when you can exploit the fears to the deepest part, you can exploit all of the emotions to the deepest part. So that's why I really like horror. It's just like, let's dive down. So we want to talk about a bad friendship, let's make it as bad of a friendship as possible. Like not just someone's draining you, but like they're literally sucking you dry.
Bruh, I will tack on top of that. I feel like horror and animation are two of the final frontiers of film that are just like, there are pockets of it that are still unexplored.
Yeah.
Like when we see Get Out, Us, Them, like the new variation of Candyman, there are so many like aspects of horror that are just like, there are things that we're afraid of that we don't even know we're afraid of that we haven't explored yet. So when you talk about that, I'm like, yeah, you can dive as deep as you want to. And there are unexplored territories that you can play around with.
Yep. And so then I was kind of discussing, this is like after Cinco de Mayo, like I said, I started writing it Cinco de Mayo, we was kind of talking about the idea, and I'm telling you about honestly, like I had written maybe 1-2 pages of it, and I'm telling you about the idea because I'm diving out into the character of Marvin. At this time, Marvin had just become an artist, and this and that. I didn't know what Erica did, what Greg did. I didn't know what Shauna did. I'm building the characters, and I'm having a conversation with you about, you know, do I want to go horror? Do I want to go monster? Do I want to go this and that? And you came up with the idea. You was like, have you seen Lovecraft Country? And you were like, in particular, like the Jingle.
Oh, yes.
And so then when and I had seen it, but I went and watched it again, and I was like, I like this. I like this. I like this. And then that was able to give me a channel to like
Put
how
that horror into it.
and how did I want the monsters to come out, like, and then I started thinking,
no spoilers.
well, they know it was a horror film.
Okay.
But yeah, so that really did help. I mean, you helped, like, and when you guys see the film, you're gonna see, Marvin played by Stanley J. Williams, and you're gonna see him all throughout, like, on screen, but behind the scenes, the amount of writing he helped me with, the amount of storytelling he helped me with, like the amount of like character building and development, the questions he was like asking me to challenge me as a director to think about things that I wasn't thinking about, really helped craft this into, like, I would say this might be my first glimpse at a masterpiece that I've actually worked on. It's my first glimpse at it. Like, I feel great about this project. Like, like this project, it's just every single thing on every single account. It's just like it checks those boxes and stuff like that. So it's like, and I love every project has always been built. Like, even going back to our first project on Bended Knee and stuff like that, like all the mistakes of it, I still very dear to my heart. But it is built to like,
I can, bro. All right. One thing I will absolutely say, when we talk about the trajectory, like the trajectory, there are moments where, I am a very critical person of myself. But every project we worked on together, from On Bended Knee to Shadows to everything we've worked on, it consistently just continues to level up. And thank you.
Because this would technically be,
thank you.
When we release this one, this would be like the 8th project that we released.
Good God.
Yeah. And then there's been like 3 or 4 of them in there, like, that we haven't released as well. So we've done more than 8, but it's just like, this is the 8th one that would be released. And it's like we're really we have climbed up to this level. And sometimes,
yeah,
like, one of the things, again, is just when I have a conversation with Stanley's really been a day one. Like, I always love working with him and Tamara because they are like day ones and they've been here with me. But Stanley in particular, like, literally, I started this journey and Stanley was right there beside me. He's in my at first everything. And when we went to see Creed 3, and this was in March. Creed 3, first of all, masterpiece. Kudos to everybody, cast, crew, talent, everybody. It was amazing.
MBJ did his thing.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of it, like, I'm sitting up here, masterpiece. Like, I'm just, it's my favorite film of this year.
It's my favorite. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead.
I'm
gonna leave it alone.
and so we're sitting here after just seeing a masterpiece and this and that. I'm just like, as creatives, our minds start to race and we start thinking about all these different things. And me and you are talking about the ending and like what would we have done differently and what we could have seen and all this kind of stuff. And then literally you say something. You're like, we're only like 6 months away being able to shoot this. Now, so for me, and kind of going back to the conversation we had previous, like higher self versus lower self for me comes in like, how the did she say, like, did we just watch?
Is the math?
Yeah, we just watched a $100 million film that did all of these great things and all this stuff. And this man said we are 6 months away. Because I'm thinking about me from a director standpoint. My skill set needs to go here. I'm thinking about me from like a videographer, shooters skills, editor skills. I'm thinking about all these different things. And I'm just like, Stanley, who has been rocking with me since 2018, 5 years ago, who has seen every project and every elevation of each project, says we're only 6 months away. So even though I can't see it, he can. And sometimes the vision isn't for me to see, it's for, everyone to see around it. And I was like, you know what? Instead of letting down, I'm just going to lean into Stanley seeing something that I couldn't see. And then when I got to the editing table and I started getting to the colors and I started getting into, I was like, okay, I think this is what Stanley was seeing when he said the 6 months. And I was just like, not saying that it's Creed 3. Yeah.
No. But we on your ass.
Yeah, exactly. It was like
we on your ass.
The pressure is happening there. So like, I'm gonna thank you for that, man. Because
no, you do that for me every day. Every time we work together, anytime, and when we not working together outside of work, like there are times you talk me off the ledge that I'm just like, yo, if I hadn't have called E and talked to him about this, I would have made a big mistake. Or I wouldn't have believed in myself in the way that I needed to in this moment. And you don't just do that for me, you do that for all of us when we working together. Like specifically talking about in the frame of when we're working together, I have actively seen you pour into everybody we work with. So it is a pleasure to be able to pour back into you. Come on.
I appreciate it. I mean, we need. I mean, that's we're a team.
That's why we're a team.
We're a team. So I definitely appreciate that. And all right, let me see if I have any more questions about the film. All right, let me ask this. Since you've been here since day one, this is a question. This is specific just to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming from honestly, like I said, we do have the slate of films that we have that we're about to be doing next. What do you want to see us grow to as Mountaintop Studios? I know he has a heavy one.
All right. I want to see more virtual effects from us.
Okay.
More action scenes. And by action scenes, I mean stunts. Like bringing in work that we haven't challenged ourselves with yet.
Okay.
I want to work on grant development so that we can add more budget to what we do.
Tamara said the same thing in her interview.
Because I feel like we're getting to that place now where we can pour $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 into what we do, and that's just on the low end of what we do, so that we can start building this into a place where it's like, you know what? These guys aren't just indie; they contenders. They are contenders. So when the big budgets come knocking, the $100 million, the $200 million budgets are like, where do we put this money? You're like, give it here. We know what to do with it. We've done it with less.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the beauty of what we do. We're doing the hard work. And let me once again shout out to all the indie directors, indie act, everybody who works on an indie film. This one's for you. We do what the big budgets do with less money because we have more grit. We have more of a reason. We have just as much passion. And with the end to the writer strike and the end to the acting strike as of, I think, yesterday,
yeah,
it puts us in a position to really be able to showcase our talents in a way that says, what's stopping you from giving us that big budget?
Yeah.
That's the space we move into, bro.
Yeah. No,
I think that's the space we in.
Yeah. I mean, because we low-key have a cheat code. Because, you know, most of the time, like I look at a lot of these indie filmmakers and stuff like that, like they're coming to the table like, I mean, I was there 5-ish years ago as well. It's like, you know, you write this great project and this thing that you believe in and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, how do I go about getting the actors and how do I go about, then you got to get the film crew and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, what we did here is that, you know, we got clients paying for this. We got the Microsofts and, you know, the Lululemons and, you know, the Nikes. We got them cutting checks for like on the production side that's like helping us build the skills in terms of lighting, in terms of shooting, sound, editing, all of those skills that now when it comes together to do a project that's, you know, personal for us, it's like we got the crew. We got the stuff that like that most indie people have to go out and seek. And one of the things that like I've been imploring my team this entire year is that like don't just depend upon me for the ideas. Like, because I mean, hey, listen, I got them. They gonna keep coming. They gonna keep rolling. But it's like the way I always wanted, like the vision I always had for Mountaintop Studios and everything going forward. It's not just projects. The Be Real is all Enoch projects. All, you know, I did all that kind of stuff. But Mountaintop Studios, it was never meant to be just Enoch projects. Never just meant to be by Enoch projects. And so, like, you know, I'm telling Caitlin, I was like, yo, when you have an idea, let's do it. Like I said, like, you're here on my sets, like, I'll come be on your set. What do you need me to do? You need me to boom? You need me to slate? You need me this and that? You need all of this equipment that, you know, I've racked up? My expertise, my guy, like, I told, and Zay actually.
I was literally just thinking of him. I was like.
Sorry, Riku.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, I think we are.
Yeah.
I think we are, because I'm realizing, I was just thinking about him, I was like, he's releasing a project soon.
Yep. And so he just called me
I just finished the script. It's like, we are, as a collective, we are starting to move in that space.
And he called me we had this conversation like maybe yesterday or the day before, and he told me about the project and all this kind of stuff, and it's, you know, it's a project. And I was literally at the end, I was like, how can I help? What do you
That's
need?
it.
What do you need? What you need from me? Like I said, I'm gonna be there.
What
Like,
do you need?
what do you need? And then same thing for you. Like I think you you just finished up a script. And I was like, all right, cool. I signed the NDA and this and that. I was like, yeah, I'm going through it. I'm good.
Yeah,
That's what you need at this moment. But like that's I think a level of like the cheat code is that like
Ownership.
We have the ownership. We don't like while the $100 million budget would be great, it would be nice. We're not waiting for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter, like I said, I have a whole feature that I'm writing and I'm gonna shoot it next year and stuff like that. Like it could be funded and that would be nice. It would be nice to have this and that, and I can actually. I have 3 months. It would be nice to take those 3 months and just be able to focus on this project and not say yes to any new clients. That would be nice.
But the bills got to stay paid.
Yeah, but if the budget isn't there, it's like, all right, cool. My clients they build a budget and it comes out of this and that. The project's gonna happen regardless.
Facts.
Like I'm not. It's even there's this show on Netflix. It just came on. It's about like this. It's about I forget what it's called. Somebody else was watching it at my house and I was editing. But it's like this this woman. She like takes over the fashion industry. But she's like scamming everyone and just like, how does she have money and stuff? I forget what it's called. But anyways, there's this one character and she's a filmmaker, she's a director, and she has like this great idea. And like she has this boyfriend who's like, the one girl who's scamming, like this filmmaker, and she's like, this girl is so amazing. And then the boyfriend's like, nah, she's scamming. And I don't know how she getting her money, all this kind of stuff. And they end up having an argument, and he's like, you keep talking about this project. You don't actually want to do this project. You could start shooting something. You could start doing something. You've been sitting on this project for 3 years. You got a phone. Make it happen. Do something. Like I said, I'm not saying it's going to come out the greatest thing in the world, this and that, but at least you'll have something. And I was like, that's the difference.
Yep.
Get up off of your ass and do something. Like if you got a dream, no one's going to make it happen for you. No one's going to develop the vision. No one's going to be up with you at the 2 a.m. If you do have 1 or 2 friends who are supporting you along the way, you are a lucky person. Yep. And you cherish those friends for the rest of your life. But
this is your job. This is your passion. This is your dream. And that's what I mean when I say ownership. Taking ownership of it. If it's your dream, you have to own it like it's your dream. Put something behind it like it's your dream. Because if you don't, who else is supposed to?
No one else. It's our responsibility. And so again, I am very much so open to all the funding, all the help, all of that kind of stuff. Which this project,
the dream gonna get made.
Yeah, it's gonna get made, and the people who you want to have along the way, they're there, and the people you need to have along the way, they're there, and it keeps getting built. It keeps more. It's the growth keeps happening because you just got to keep going. Like I said, there's gonna be. I told you this. I guess I'll kind of end the podcast with this, but I told you this a few weeks ago. I said there's vision. Mm-hmm. There's vision, and then that's what you have to always focus on, because feelings are gonna happen. People are gonna make mistakes. We're humans. That shit is gonna happen, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that has to come less to the vision, because the only thing that can disrupt the vision is us. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like realizing that all of this level of stuff is going to happen. It's inevitable. We all gonna fuck up. I'm gonna fuck up. You gonna fuck up. Fire Nation is gonna fuck up. That's what's gonna happen. But also, I'm gonna do amazing things. You're gonna do amazing things. Fire Nation's gonna do amazing things and stuff like that. And it's just like when we can all turn and look at the vision and be like, this is the vision. Like, so when we're mad, when we're sad, when we're happy, this is the vision. Like the anger, the sadness, the fear, the disgust, and the joy should all point us towards the vision. Like if you allow your emotions to lead you down the path towards the vision, everything is just gonna be better. We're gonna accomplish so much because we can go and do so much. We can go so much farther, do so much more together than we can alone. And so I think that's what we're building here at Mountaintop Studios. And so, like I said, I'm always saying, man, I couldn't imagine doing this journey with anybody else, man. I would always say, God sent me the absolute perfect person to not only motivate me, but to keep my energy levels up, to inspire me, and just, hey, man, listen, we rocking and rolling, man.
We rocking and rolling.
If you ever need anything, man, just hit that text, hit that call, man. Love you, dog.
Love you too, bro.
Man, that's another episode of Over the Shoulder, man. You know, I have the day one of the day ones with me on this episode, man. Listen, and he's getting booked and busy. He's doing so much stuff now because, hey, listen, he's amazing. I've seen it since our days in high school, and you know, it's all deserving. All the flowers, man, need to be given his way. And as always, you know, like, subscribe, share, comment. If you want to be sitting on this side of the seat, you gotta do a project together. You can always reach out to me, be like, hey, I got this idea, or like, hey, how can I be a part of what's going on in Mountaintop Studios? Like I said, we're scaling right now. This is the best time to hit up if you want to learn how to write, if you want to learn how to direct, if you want to learn how to light, if you want to be talented. This is the time because we got a ton of projects coming in 2024. Yeah. So, as I always say on Over the Shoulder, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.